This episode of the Flush Podcast is brought to you by Walton's, Nutrisource Pet Foods, Onyx Hunt, North Dakota Tourism, Aluma Trailers, and Federal Ammunition. Today, we're sitting in a farmhouse in northern Iowa on the first leg of a 3-day road trip with Pheasants Forever and the winners of this year's Dream Hunt. It's the first snowfall of the year, and the birds are holding real tight. We'll explain what we're seeing in the field, how we got here, and what you can expect if you want to hunt roosters in Iowa. Welcome to another episode of the Flush Podcast. I'm Travis Frank. I'm your host. Brandon Morton is our producer, and he is nowhere to be found once again because I'm on the road, which has been normal lately, and it's after 8 p.m. my time. I'm sitting in a farmhouse here, surrounded by some pheasant hunters. To my left, Jared Wiklund from Pheasants Forever. Josh Divan or Divan? Divan. Josh Divan. Straight across from me. And to my right, a gentleman that came all the way up from Texas, the big state of Texas. Jim, what in the world are you doing up here right now, sir?
I'm hunting pheasants with my bird dogs. That's what I'm doing with a great group of guys.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of birds.
We were watching you on that last walk coming in tonight.
A little slow, was I?
You were lagging back there. I'm not gonna lie, you were lagging back there, but your dog was clearly up to something.
I was working slow so the dog could work and find the birds. Yeah. It wasn't me lagging.
Yeah. And then here comes this giant tail of a bird out of the grass right in front of you, and we were looking. Josh, was that you standing by me, or was it Jared?
No, I was to the right of Jim at that point, I think.
No, the one when we were at the bottom of the hill in the corner, we had pretty much walked out, and you go, "That's a good dog. That's a good dog." And we're like, "Why didn't he shoot at that one?" You remember that?
No, it was the hen. I think Jim thought it was a hen. I think Travis and I both were fairly certain that it was a rooster.
If that was a hen, good for her, because I have never seen a tail that long on a hen.
She's making it through the winter. She's pretty plump.
She was good.
She was pretty plump.
Oh, my goodness. Jim, hand the mic back over there. Jim, how do you pronounce your last name?
Damnehy.
Damnehy. Okay. You are here because you bid on this year's Pheasants Forever auction. I'm going to take a step back. 3 years ago during COVID, all the Pheasants Forever banquets were canceled, and we thought, how can we help to continue to raise money to put more habitat back on the ground? So we thought, well, what if we auctioned off a hunt that we would film with the Flush TV show? Bob St. Pierre and I were talking about this idea. Jared, maybe you were a part of it at the time too. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, and we thought, okay, the idea started, let's just try it. We'll go hunt with different Pheasants Forever reps in South Dakota on different properties that they pick, and it'll be a late season road trip. And so we thought, I'm in. Yeah, let's do it. And we threw the auction up, and it was a success. The hunt was amazing. And then next year we thought, want to try it again? Sure, let's do it. And we went to North Dakota, and the Hunter Schwinn and his family were the winners the first 2 years. They did not win out on the bid this year. Jim, you were the big winner on this one, Jim. And we're in Iowa right now celebrating your contribution to Pheasants Forever. We're filming a television show. And it might be the best day of the season to hunt in Iowa this year because the first snow of the year, there's 3 days that you have to hunt. Opening day, the day the crops come out around your field, and the first snowfall. And so you didn't know that we were going to time it this well, Jim, but we timed it pretty well. Why did you want to bid on this hunt to be here?
Well, the key was Pheasants Forever, the Flush, conservation, and using my own dogs. Mm-hmm. If I couldn't bring my own dogs, I'm out. Okay, I mean that's where I'm at. Yeah. So, and they did fine. They didn't embarrass me too bad today.
No, and you've got beautiful. Talk about your dogs a little bit, and sort of there's a rarity there. There's not many of the breed. in the United States. Maybe talk a little bit about how many dogs you got and what
They
type of breed
are, they call them the original German Shorthairs, okay? They're registered in Germany, and the litters, the stud dogs and the female have to be vetted and approved for breeding by German judges. What that helps is you're going to get usually a highly trainable dog that wants to hunt. And then the rest is up to you. Are they better than short hairs? Not necessarily. If somebody does a good job selecting a male and selecting a female, but what happens with the AKC is you got one, I got one, let's make puppies and have some fun. And that's not allowed in the German system. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
The breed that your dogs are
Deutsch Kurzhaars, which stands for German Shorthair, does not stand for German Shorthair Pointer, okay, which is the American version.
So appearance-wise, I mean, they're a little taller, but I've seen GSPs the same size and build. Last night when I walked in, I go, "Are these all GSPs?" And you go, "No." I was instantly scolded.
Yeah,
No. And you corrected me. And I know a couple of other DKs, owners that are very passionate about this dog breed. And you were very excited to tell me about them. Explain how this dog, what their ticks are, or how they hunt, their personalities.
Well, the first thing is they're really, really trainable. I had labs for a long time, and I compare them to a Labrador Retriever in a short hair body because they love to be trained. Some of the short hairs I've owned, they love to hunt, but they're not that trainable. And they test them structurally, hips, elbows. I had to send blood work to Germany so that they could keep track of the DNA records. The stud dog had to be approved. And then when we got the litter born, the paperwork was all in German, which I needed a lot of help with. But all the descriptions of the puppies had to be sent to Germany, and they sent me back microchips to put in each puppy. They all had to be pre-named before the microchips had to be put in, and they had to be named before I could sell them. So, and we sold puppies all over. The one litter of 10, they ended up in New York, Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, and Alabama. And then the rest were in Texas.
How do they hunt? What's their hunt style, if you had to explain to somebody that hasn't seen them?
They are more cooperative. They work a little bit slower and closer. And for me, having chased pheasants my whole life, that is right where I want them to be.
Slower and closer. Well, I wouldn't. I think there's some personalities, though, now that, because there were 4 of them out in the field today. They didn't all work slower and closer. One of them was keeping up with my little missile out there running around, too.
Well, and they do. I mean, there's a variety. I mean, they're all a little bit different, just like kids.
Yeah, there's that. There's that. We are Josh, is this 2 weeks into the Iowa season now? 2.5 weeks, something like that?
Yeah, 2.5, so it'd be the last Saturday in October here.
Okay. Wait, no, that's when your season opened, the last Saturday in October.
Yeah, so we're in
November
from that
now.
point. Yeah, so this puts us in the 2.5 point.
Now being a couple weeks into the season, you could probably look out there and give this season a grade based on the first 2 weeks already. I mean, there's been a lot of hype for Iowa, a lot from different places. This guy to my left is always hyping Iowa, and then he's also like, well, don't go there. It's not actually, there's probably nothing there either at the same time.
And then that's like a smirk and a wink, right?
Right.
It's terrible.
There's nothing here.
No, we came into this pheasant season with a lot of quiet excitement, and the August roadside counts confirmed that we could and should be excited about what we were about to experience for the opener. And if you hunted the Iowa opener, as you drove around and looked at the public hunting spots, you could see pretty easily that there was a lot of people that were excited about the Iowa pheasant opener. And by all the counts that we had, people had a lot of fun. There were birds flushing, shots fired. There were a lot of fun tailgate pictures, and it was good. It was good.
I know all my blue plater buddies from Minnesota were excited about it because they were all parked down here at a lot of the public areas. I saw a lot of
That's a touchy subject.
Saw a lot of limits taken that first weekend from just about everybody that was hunting. So it seemed like it went over pretty well, and I think what we saw today is evidence of that.
Right. I think, like if you live in the metro area of Minnesota, which a lot of hunters live in the metro area, to come to Iowa, it's closer than driving to South Dakota, actually. I mean, from like where we're at now, granted, we're on a 3-day road trip. We're in north central Iowa, and we're going to start heading west, I think. What parts of this state are you finding, now that the season's open, that hunting might be better than people anticipated, Josh?
Ooh, that's a fun question. So
GPS coordinates. People want GPS coordinates. I'm hearing from our listeners.
Onyx pins, GPS coordinates.
Yes.
Oh man, the short, easy answer for me is just going to be in areas of the state where we have complexes of habitat. I mean, those are always the parts of the state that hold. Those are kind of our strongholds where we are less. There's less impacted by adverse weather and things of that nature. But I mean, the strongholds of Iowa the last few years have always been the northwest part of the state. As reluctantly as I hate to say it, the north central part of the state. The west central part of the state has been good. You're chasing quail down in south central. It's pretty good. The numbers kind of, what we've seen this year is that if you had good bird hunting last year, you probably had a good to great season this year so far.
Mm-hmm. Better than last year, would you say so far?
Oh, man. I might default to say that. Yeah. I think that there was maybe a little bit of sentiment that some of the roadside counts, we were just really dry. We're still, a lot of the states kind of still suffering from the drought. So some of those roadside counts happen in a little bit less than ideal dew conditions. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a chance that we might have been underreporting
mm-hmm.
that we weren't picking all of them up. And based on, anecdotal, kind of accounts that I've gotten and our team has gotten across the state is lots of smiling pictures, Facebook posts, Snapchats. Yeah, I think people are having fun out in the field.
Absolutely. Jared, you and I did a pheasant forecast episode maybe 2 months ago, something like that, when we got the information out. And what I've heard from a few hunters, like when we were out in North Dakota, they actually figured or thought that maybe the numbers were a little underreported because a lot of hunters are seeing a late hatch addition that probably wasn't counted. And so the number of birds in the field are even higher than what the reports were saying in a few areas. I'm not entirely, what are you pointing?
Sorry, the dog's digging through the garbage while we're trying to talk. I didn't know if I should say anything.
DKs are great dogs.
DKs, there, the personalities are just, I mean, you can't breed that just anywhere, Jim.
So
he's got him in the kitchen. That's the best part about these places.
Those dogs worked hard today. They were just looking for a little bit extra calories.
Slurping up some steak juice that we dropped there in the garbage.
Yeah. That's not your fault. You should have finished your steak, which, by the way, this...
you can't script that. That's fun.
Yes. Okay. So we are in a farmhouse in north central Iowa right now. I think maybe we need to explain, like, how do we get here and whose house are we in? This guy is not here right now. And we are in this amazing farmhouse out here, and there's mounts on the wall, and I don't know. Pete said it was a 20-point buck out in the field.
We're up to 20 now. It's like a good fishing story.
Yeah, it increases 4 antler sizes every hour.
That's good.
It'll be the 30-pointer by tomorrow.
In no time flat. No, so we're when I heard about this opportunity and this show is going to be filmed moving through Iowa, and we had some folks that wanted to experience kind of a unique hunting opportunity as it moved through Iowa. I quickly thought of, the Quality Hunting Lodge. And this is some landowners that I worked with previously as a farm bill biologist when working for PF, and they did some really cool CRP on the family farm, and it's just a really neat story about how they have maintained the property and use it for family get-togethers and hunting expeditions, and of course, allow family and friends to come and they get a kick out of other people experiencing kind of rural Iowa and some of the hunting opportunities that presents. So that was just a quick phone call to Brian and told him about the idea, and they're fans of the flush, and I think he said yes before I even got the question all the way.
So cool. It's so cool. I wish he was here to meet him.
It's too bad that the people that are listening to this can't didn't get any of the scenery that comes along with.
Well, we're going to try to produce it. I mean, we do try to capture the real essence of what we're doing out there, the reality of it, and that wonderful feast we just had. It put me into food coma, Jared.
Oh yeah,
you are quite the chef, man.
Oh, thank you.
Goodness.
Thank you. Yes, yeah. After a decent hunt like we had today, I think
decent. Jim's shrugging.
It was a very good hunt. It was a very good hunt. It was a very good hunt with a lot of birds flushing. Pretty mesmerizing conditions with a little bit of light snow coming down.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching my dog Luna, who's just jet black, just covered in frost. Call it frosty whiskers at the end of the day.
The white face coming out. Daisy came out of the thick grass so many times where she would come back out and then stick her head out, and it was just covered in snow. And it was shake it up.
It was cool to see, and throughout this 3-day experience, and we can get into, some of the other landowners that are hosting us throughout this event, but, being able to sit down at the table at the end of the day and have a nice meal and share that camaraderie. I don't know, that's, besides watching the dogs work and seeing the birds and seeing the wonderful habitat and meeting the landowners, having that experience itself and getting to meet our guests from Texas who are up here and just spend some time getting to know one another. Just breaking bread, I think, is an important part of this process.
It's a part of the experience. And I've interviewed hundreds of people probably now over the last several years, and everyone says the same thing. It's about the dogs. Yeah, I get it. It is about the dogs. But it's about the birds, it's about the friends, it's about breaking bread at the table, it's about all of the experiences. Because if it was just about the dogs, then you wouldn't have to make the shot. There's a rush that comes with that explosion, and then you decipher, is that a rooster or is that a hen? And sometimes Jim doesn't decipher correctly, there is that. But that's all part of the experience, and you have to make the shot, And like last night, Jared claimed he has magic bullets. As soon as he started shooting these bismuths, he can't miss. Josh, you remember that?
I do. How did that turn out for you, Jared, today?
The end of the day was a real train wreck.
The wheels fell off.
It was good. It was good up to about 4:09, and then at that point, that last rooster just straight away. He just laughed at me.
And that was not lost on Jim. Jim was excited to report that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he missed finally.
That's what I'm saying. It's about the experience. If it's just about the dogs, then you don't need to include the birds. You can go on a walk out in the field. It's about the whole experience. Jim, when you found out we were coming to Iowa, was it that you just wanted to come and be on a pheasant hunting road trip, or did you specifically want to come hunt in Iowa?
I specifically wanted to come where there were birds.
Yeah.
Okay. And there to Iowa. We've been hunting Kansas for a long time, and it's been real tough the last couple of years. And this opportunity came up. And I might add, last night Josh said, there might be some Hungarian partridge in this field. And if somebody else gets one besides me, I've been trying for years to get one of these things, I would really be upset. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
the unicorn.
I think Jared,
the unicorn. That's what we called it in the field. He's speechless. He doesn't even want to talk into the mic right now. The crossing shot you made on that, Jim, your first bird in Iowa. You mentioned something in the field when we found that bird after you dropped it with a beautiful 50-yard-ish shot, maybe. When we found the bird and picked it up, I handed it to you, And I said, when's the last time you saw a Hungarian partridge or shot one? And you said you think it was when you were 13 years old in Illinois. Is that right?
That is correct. We had 2 coveys that were behind the elementary school that I used to walk through to go hunting to chase pheasants, and there was a couple of coveys of Hungarians. Now, I did shoot at them. I don't think I hit one. My father shot one, but I did not. So this is a first for me, too.
So it's been just a couple of years then, you're saying?
Well, yeah, let's see.
Let's do the math here.
Maybe 1965, maybe 4.
And you've shot a lot of pheasants in the meantime. So does that bird have any special meaning to you then, holding that? Because Josh is over there ticked off. It wasn't him. I'm just as mad as Josh, maybe even more mad, because that's my favorite bird. And we haven't gotten to Jared yet on it.
Yeah, Josh, I could see him pouting before I even got over to you guys to see what the bird looked like.
But they had the chance at it.
The bird flew the whole line, and everybody missed.
Yeah, well, remember when I brought it up? A lot of people have seen the movie Dances with Wolves, right? Yeah. In the beginning, Kevin Costner gets on that horse. He's about to lose his leg, and he basically rides the horse without any reins, putting his arms out, and all those guys are taking pot shots at him. That's exactly the same feeling that Hungarian partridge just went through, because it got up in front of me, and I didn't know what it was right away, because you're just not expecting to see a unicorn like that in the middle of a field. And I just yelled, "Hunt! It's a hunt!" And then boom, 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 all the way down the line, and then they finally got it. So
and I'm over here
awesome.
with the camera, and I'm like, okay, so it just snowed, and now there's tracks here. What does that tell us? It means there's probably a pheasant here. And there's this boom, 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 and I'm like, what's going on? And it flies past me. I don't even get a shot off because I'm talking to the stupid camera.
I thought he was gone. I couldn't see over the hill.
You didn't have any faith in Jim, is what you're saying?
Not that. There were so many shots that rang out before it came
he
down.
Lost his faith like before it made it to Jim, because as upset as I am that I didn't bag that bird, I had 3 shots that you would want to take at a Hungarian partridge coming, quartering towards you. I had my opportunity. I'm just glad that it ended up in a vest, because it was fun just to see that bird in hand on some CRP that I've been on for years and have never flushed a single one. That was totally worth it.
The flush. So fast, it hardly seems real. So vivid, the moment freezes in time before erupting in a blur of spurs and feathers. It's why we changed the way upland loads are built with Prairie Storm. Exclusive flight control flex wad technology and a mix of copper-plated lead and flight stopper pellets combine to create dense, deadly shot strings through any choke. Longer shots, more power, fewer missed birds. Only from Federal.
It's the calm before the Thanksgiving rush. Now's the time to get all of your Turkey Day essential shopping done at Walton's during their pre-Thanksgiving sale. From their 7 and 11 pound stuffers to the number 12 grinder and 600 pound scale, they are all deeply discounted. The number 22 grinder that John Tremblay and the Walton's team uses in all their videos, it's $100 off. Must-have accessories such as suction cup feet, waterproof thermometers, and hog ring pliers have been marked down too. Take an amazing $100 off Walton's 50-pound mixer and get the heavy shopping out of the way right now before turkey season. If you order now through November 16th, Walton's guarantees that your purchases will arrive before Thanksgiving. So check out the pre-Thanksgiving sale today at waltons.com. The onX Hunt app is one of the most valuable hunting tools that I take into the field every day. I use it on every hunt. Seriously, every hunt. Their app tells me everything I need to know about the lands that I want to hunt and the lands that we can all legally hunt on. The app also shows your location on planet Earth and clearly lays out the land boundaries. It tells you information about the type of property you're on, like state land or federal lands or walk-in access properties. It's ideal for scouting before the hunt and during a hunt to help put together patterns. The app also has helpful features that show you the kind of crops that are in fields, which obviously is a big deal for us upland bird hunters. And there's a timber cut layer to help you find the right forest habitat for ruffed grouse. If you hunt in North Dakota, there's even a layer that lets you know if a property has been posted electronically. These are just a few of the many tools onX apps give you, and these maps can even be used in areas without cell coverage. From the palm of your hand, Onyx maps always help you to know where you stand. So the numbers of Huns are up this year in Iowa, according to your reports, right? And what do you attribute that to?
Oh, Hunzer. Boy, you've got me in an area that I have no expertise on.
Perfect.
Huns
We got it where we want them, Jared.
Huns are tricky. They just utilize different habitats entirely than pheasants, and that's why, we pick them up on the August roadside counts, but hunters don't encounter them that often because they're in short.
They don't target them either.
Right. Oh, because it's like how much fun is it to they'd be like road hunting or hunting terraces, or like they like just short, thin cover, and in the middle or like a picked, harvested field, like there's like 8 strands of foxtail. Like why would there be a bird there? And that's where
I'm
you'd see a
amazed
hunt.
too that the numbers are going up because this is corn country. I mean, they're a small grain bird. They like that wheat.
Yep.
They like the real small grains. That's why North Dakota and Montana are just. I mean, you drive miles and miles and miles. All you see is a wheat field sometimes, and there are a lot of Hungarian partridge out there. They're doing great. But to see them here, it's a little surprising, but also encouraging because I want more of them.
It was a unique experience.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit of a mystery is why they're kind of holding on in little pockets here and there, but they certainly aren't what they used to be. But it's just kind of a fun bird to know that you could potentially encounter, and then maybe someday, I'll know what to do when the Hun flies towards me when I'm pheasant hunting.
Well,
I'll use Jim as my.
Hey, hold on. Give the mic back to Jim. Jim, explain to him how to shoot a Hungarian partridge flying right to left in front of you within range. What's your secret?
Shoot it.
Don't miss.
Yeah. Don't miss. Yeah. Don't miss.
So-
he was too excited. That's
Yeah. Lesson learned today is even though you have great shells, the magic shells that Jared has.
That is correct.
You still can miss, even though it says last time we were joking, like, well, if you can't miss with them, it should say it on the box. What a marketing. Ever since you started using them, you can't miss. And I was like, wait till the camera comes out. That's when the misses come, and you'll be on national television missing. And
Well, see, that's why I was very careful not to make any statements like you did last night. So I thought I was safe.
We got to a point where we had talked about a whole bunch of stuff and the trip up here, and then it kind of got to a silence point. So I just had to break it somehow. Everybody laughed. That was good.
It wasn't even gonna be
laughing
that you
at
were
the end
gonna
of
make
the day.
most of your shots. It was just like you were gonna be missless.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I say it's more than just the dog. When people say it's about the dog, and I've heard everyone says the same thing. Yeah, I know it's fun to watch them, but it's not just about the dog. It's about the whole experience. And part of it is this camp that we're in right now. And I just came out of a deer camp, and the experiences there are just as awesome in their own unique ways. And we had a gentleman come over from the neighbor's camp, and we'll have a meal at our place on opening night every year. And so we always have people come over, and he's probably 82-year-old, and don't jump, Jim. I'm not talking about your age. Anyway, I think he said he was 82, and I asked him about his wife or something, and he's just very dry but funny sense of humor and very matter of fact about things. And I was like, oh yeah, married. He's like, yeah, 50-some years or whatever, however many years or something like that. And then changed topics, and then something about the marriage came back up, and then he's like, yeah, I don't use Google. I just ask my wife. She's always right. It's like, oh my gosh. So a lot of wisdom comes out of these camps here. And this is no different here. And that's the fun of it. And that's why, I think about the statement that it's like cliche to me at this point. It's about the dogs. Yes, it's fun, but it's all of it. It's all of it. And today we got soaking wet in the snow, and you couldn't avoid it no matter what you wore. The snow falling, the snow on all the brush. The birds were dumb for a day, and it's the most magical day to hunt pheasants. From here on out, what's your outlook that you are excited about here, Josh?
Ooh, like in regard to pheasant hunting specifically?
Yeah, I mean, in this state, this is, what is your title actually with Pheasants Forever? We didn't establish that.
We were having too much fun right out of the gates with that.
Yeah.
I'm the state coordinator with Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever.
How long have you been
here in Iowa?
How long have you had this title?
Oh, a little over a year at this point, but I've been with PF for little over 13 years.
How do you get the state coordinator job?
Oh, you just hang on tight.
Wow, it's a wild ride, huh?
I mean, my experience with the PFs, I've gotten the opportunity to, basically live almost every role that there is within the state. So started as a farm bill biologist, working directly with private landowners and farmers, helping them meet their goals, utilizing conservation programs. Did that for a long time. Absolutely loved it. And, now I'm in a place where have a team of farm bill biologists, and my goal every day is to make sure that they've got everything that they need to be successful, and also to we've got the opportunity to have 10. I want to have 15 and then 20 and then 25, because the more technical assistance we can have in a state like Iowa, the more opportunities we can have to educate and provide technical assistance to get more habitat out there.
Mm-hmm. Jared, this is kind of a homecoming for you. I know when we talk pheasants, you get excited about it because you spent so much time down here. What was your role when you were down here?
I was a regional rep from early 2010 through just about 2015. So working with chapters to do fundraising, sort of a customer service aspect, but also working on land acquisitions, raising funds for those. That was one of my favorite things to do. Giving back to public lands is, the partner like the Department of Natural Resources or Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation, or somebody would come to us and say, hey, we've got a chance to get this property and we need to lock up some a down payment for it right now, or we're not going to get it. Can you help us, scrape together $50,000, $60,000, whatever the number is, and you go to the chapters and start fundraising those types of things. That was a love of my job, and really just hanging out with our chapter leaders in this state. Is it 101 chapters in Iowa still?
Right at 100.
Right at 100. And all of them are just great. I mean, we hunted with one of them today who was on the Winnebago.
Bruce
Hertzke. He's our former chairman of the board. He's also been a big part of the Winnebago Hancock chapter of Pheasants Forever, which Josh is actually president of right now. So yeah, it's always nice to come back and see people that I wouldn't say left. We did leave and move back up to the Twin Cities, to be with family and
you and your wife.
Yep, and those types of things when we started having kids. But I know Tom Carpenter, our editor, was down here the other day in Marshall-Tama County and was doing a story with their chapter folks down there, and they sent me a big picture from the table like, hey, hi to Jared, I hope he's doing well. And we were texting back and forth for a while. And we saw the Shabins last time when was that 2018 or 2019?
Oh, it would have been 3 years ago.
Okay.
I think 3.
So seeing them, seeing Mr. Hertzke, tomorrow we're going to a Century Farm with 3 brothers that are just very conservation minded, huge supporters of their local chapters, and we're all about helping us out, with this fundraising item that we've been doing. And thanks to you guys at the Flush for stepping up and continuing to do it. I think it's been a great partnership and creates a great show. And then also on our third day here, we're going to be traveling to Plymouth County, Iowa, kind of Lamar's Iowa, and the chapter's got a big sort of sportsman's breakfast plan for us, and we're gonna get to hang out with those guys, and we're gonna do dinner with them on Thursday night as well. And they're just jacked to have us down and have a couple of passionate pheasant hunters and conservationists up from Texas and show them what good pheasant hunting looks like in the state of Iowa and what it can be. We always talk about the glory days in this state. I wasn't around during that.
Right. Same.
I'm 36 right now. I wasn't around for the glory days. I've had some extremely, extremely good pheasant hunts on public and private lands in this state. And it really it all comes back to habitat. I mean, we walked some stuff today that was just absolutely gorgeous. And, producing those birds, a lot of people come down here and they don't see like what it looks like in the spring. Right. And Bruce Hertzke, or like I said, our former chairman of our national board of directors, was telling us like showing us pictures of all the purples and pinks and greens and blues and everything that comes with some of the pollinator habitat that he's got on these enrollments. And he's like, you know, that's where it starts. You come down here and see sort of this gray landscape mixed with white now with the snow. But you pull up to some of these places. I know, Jim, like we pull up to that last spot today and we're like, there's going to be a few birds in this spot. It's looking pretty birdy. And like you get in there and the dogs start picking up their pace a little bit and we're trying to keep up with them. And, you know, you start seeing the tracks, then all of a sudden.
The first flush there was impressive. I mean, they just kept on coming and coming. And we said beforehand, you shoot a bird, we stop because it's so thick in here that we don't want to just start shooting at more. So probably could have shot 3 or 4 more roosters just out of that first initial flush, but we shot 2. And, you know, like you talk about some of this habitat, you know, it's so funny. Bruce has a buddy riding with him today, and we get into that first piece, and a monster buck comes out and runs. And then the conversation that followed when we got back to the truck with his buddy's like,
you're holding out on me?
Why didn't you tell me that was out here? And then Bruce is like, well, there's a nice little big 4-pointer hanging out over there. You know, the quality of wildlife that this ground grows. And I've hunted in a lot of different habitat around the Midwest and around the country, but I think Iowa, you know, this west, northwest, north central, and then southwest Minnesota, and then parts of South Dakota. But the soil here grows amazing everything. And that's why obviously corn is such a big deal down here too. But the grass, I mean, you can have some of the most lush fields in this state, and those lush fields grow a lot of birds and big bucks.
This is like the moment where you insert the Field of Dreams.
Yes.
You know, it's if you plant it, you know, they will come.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so true of Iowa, because I mean that the fertility of our soil is shaped the way, you know, our state looks, and it's how we've been able to produce this abundant amount of food, fuel, and fiber. But I mean, there's also, that's true on the habitat side of it, like you're talking about. It's impressive. I've always, even as a biologist, it's been impressive to me, like when we put some of these new projects in place, how quickly the wildlife find them and start to utilize them, and then just, you know, blow up from those. It doesn't even have to be a big area.
I think a great example would be when we went to the Shabans. There was this hillside and they had the terraces on it.
That was farmed not many years previous.
I think he said 2 or 3 years prior to us walking it, there was nothing but corn on those hillsides and not a single bird on the property. And we probably flushed 150 of them on one little small 40 acres that we walked.
And that's just a prime example of the power of habitat management and what it can do. And I give a lot of props to our chapters who are helping keep that public lands base going. We've been doing quite a few land acquisitions here in the state of Iowa. If anybody's interested to see where those are, we've got a list of them, written press releases for them, some really recent ones. And I also give a lot of props to Josh and keeping our team rolling. Right now, we have just under, as of September, there was just under 1.7 million acres of conservation reserve program, farm bill programs enrolled in the state of Iowa.
In Iowa.
And whether anybody, you know, some people throw it aside a little bit, but CRP continues to be just sort of and farm bill programs in general continue to be the catalyst behind pheasant populations. And there's just a best fit line with that. And the role of our team here in the state, and Josh can probably talk about more than I can, is to help. It's very productive for agriculture. It can be very productive for wildlife. And, you know, Josh and his team, their role is to find that sweet spot between production and agriculture. And then in the places where that, you know, maybe not producing the best corn or not producing the best beans, and we can come in and help increase across an entire field what that landowner is making by installing a conservation practice of some sort.
If you're an outdoor lover on the go, then odds are good that you have toys and equipment that you want to haul. Aluma Trailers, well, they've got you covered. Their trailers are built by a hardworking team in Bancroft, Iowa. They have models for nearly any and every hauling need, from ATV and UTV trailers to utility, snowmobile, motorcycle, car trailers, and even fully enclosed trailers like mine. Trust me when I say that Aluma trailers tow like a dream. Their trailers are constructed out of lightweight, strong, corrosion-resistant aluminum, and they are 100% maintenance-free. Plus, they come with an industry-best 5-year warranty. Visit alumaklm.com to find a trailer that fits your needs. I love my dog, and like you, I always want to make sure that she has what she needs to stay healthy year-round and perform at her best in the field. That's why I feed Daisy Nutrisource high-performance dog food. Nutrisource dog food comes with their Good for Life system that includes 4 key ingredients that work together to support gut health, heart health, and the overall well-being of our dogs. I have complete confidence that my dog has all of the nutrition to excel in the field and make it through a rigorous hunting season. I've seen it firsthand, and she loves her food. Take it from me and my dog Daisy. Nutrisource high-performance dog food can help your dog reach their full potential. Find the food that's right for your dog at NutrisourcePetFoods.com. Hunting season is here, and North Dakota is one of my favorite places to spend a fall day. That's because North Dakota is a bird hunting paradise. You can hunt both waterfowl and upland birds all in the same day, and North Dakota has approximately 700,000 acres of private land open to public walk-in hunting. This year, North Dakota has a population estimate of 3.4 million breeding ducks, which is 38% above the long-term average. And their prairie pothole region is smack dab in the middle of the Central Flyway. Their spring water index also came way up, over 600% from last year's drought. The habitat on the landscape looks great, and bird reports are strong throughout the state. With a little scouting, you just might find yourself in a field surrounded by wild flushing pheasants, sharp-tailed grouse, and Hungarian partridge. Plan a legendary bird hunt this fall in North Dakota at legendarynd.com. Okay, so 2 questions. Jim, I want you to be thinking about today's hunt in comparison to what you've experienced in all of your journeys around the country hunting. We're going to come to you in a minute. Think about that. Josh, when we were at dinner, we had a conversation, and you maybe don't want to talk about this, but it's reality, so I think we need to talk about it. The CRP that's in the ground in Iowa right now is growing a lot of birds. A lot of these contracts are a 10 or 15-year contract of CRP. Those contracts went in during a time period when commodity prices were different. And you admitted, you were talking about this, saying that you're nervous about what this state could look like in a couple of years when a lot of these come up for renewal. What is going to happen? Will they keep it? Will that place that we hunted today be a cornfield in 3 years?
Ooh, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, that's the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night. But I mean, in an agricultural state like Iowa, CRP is our 800-pound gorilla. You know, I like to think about it in terms of a conservation program. But yeah, I mean, that's what a strong, robust program like that is what it takes to keep conservation on the ground in a state like this. Mm-hmm. And I mean, to Jared's point, the beauty of CRP is that program has evolved a lot since it first, showed up in the 80s in that farm bill. And, it's at that point in time, it came about to fix a couple of more basic needs. It's been recognized, across that 30 plus years that program can and does deliver a lot more than just some soil erosion issues and, commodity suppression. I mean, there's just this whole suite of stacked benefits that CRP can deliver. And what's neat about the evolution of that program is that the program has become tailored to fix all these different identified problems. So, Jared, you talked about, parts of the field where there's marginal cropland. And so, like in a state like Iowa, we're fortunate to have a few different we have access to a lot of different continuous CRP programs, which are different than
Like incentivizes differently, you mean?
They target different things in the landscape.
Different resource needs.
Yeah.
So what I go back to is you don't have to convince me of the benefits of CRP. You don't have to convince our listeners of the benefits of CRP. They know it. What we have to do is convince the person that owns the property the benefits of CRP. And that's the part that keeps you up at night.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where just because of the fertility of our soil, which has this amazing potential to grow, a lot of things that us sitting around this table care about, which is, robust wildlife habitat. It also, fortunately has the capacity to grow amazing crops, which, we need. So it's kind of the balance of those, finding a balance of those two things. And, our team is constantly looking for how to share opportunities for where some of those things could and should be, even on modern farms. There's parts of the field that don't perform like other parts of the field, and those, in lots of cases, are perfect fits for programs like CRP. But programs like CRP need to have, robust farm policy behind them, and that's something that, every farm bill, we have to make sure that everyone understands how important the farm bill is, so that there's opportunities for voluntary conservation on private land.
Jared, what would
Big
you
chance coming up for that to try to make sure that we have what we need in a robust
What
farm.
do you and I and Jim and Josh sitting here tonight, like what say do we have in it? What can we do? Is there tangible things that you and I can do, that anybody listening right now can do to influence that?
So I think number one, like if you aren't a member of Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever, we have a collective voice, right? We have a collective voice. We've got 3 different staffers right now in Washington, D.C. that are on the Hill all the time advocating for wildlife, advocating for carbon sequestration. I have not been there yet, but we've got a lot of staff that we do flyouts. We bring landowners out. We bring advocates out that have enrolled in the program, and they see the benefits, not just the birds, but the carbon sequestration and the water quality and the pollinators. There's so many different aspects to Farm Bill programs, beyond a payment for a landowner. There's a ton of different things there for them. So that'd be number one. Number two is stepping up to the plate. We send out plenty of action alerts, whether it's around the Farm Bill or the Great American Outdoors Act that we finally got passed. The North American Grasslands Conservation Act is a big one right now. We got it introduced into the Senate here in late July. And then they went on recess, and we're working on that again right now. So I think it's making your voice heard. A lot of people will see an action alert and they'll say like, well, my voice doesn't count. When we get 30,000 messages sent in a day to officials, in Congress, or maybe it's in the state legislature, that's a big deal, and it's
people don't realize is a lot of times 10 or 15 messages to somebody that is an elected official can go a long way.
Yep.
Sometimes it's 1,000, but sometimes they don't hear one way or the other, so they'd say, well, I guess there's not a lot. Nobody really cares about that. So if you care about it,
you got to speak
the
up.
least you can do is send a message if you have the opportunity to speak.
Yep. Those would probably be the two biggest things that I see sort of off the bat, but really making your voice heard and stepping up to the plate. Like if you're watching a Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever Facebook page or Twitter account or whatever it might be, and you see like, hey, members, you need to speak up right now to try and get this important provision in the Farm Bill. That's not us just like talking to you to
not just, well, maybe what the heck if you feel like it. No, it's like it's important right now.
These are important things, and if you're like for Jim, who came up here with his dogs and wants to see dog's work on wild birds for the future, gosh darn it, that's what we need everybody to do. We need everybody to speak up.
And harsher cuss words than gosh darn it too, probably. Okay, Jim, back to you.
Golly gee whiz.
Yeah, I know. So you've hunted, you told me all these great stories of your hunts, the
Really?
last couple of days. You told me quite a few.
Uh-oh.
You talked about growing up in Illinois, hunting there as a child, and then you live in Texas and you drive 600 miles to go hunt, and you've hunted different places, and you talk about Kansas. But today, what you experience out there in the field, I guess what I'm wondering is how, like Jared mentioned, the good old days. I didn't grow up in the good old days hunting pheasants in the 50s, 60s, 70s when they were just like too many of them. You couldn't get through them. They were so thick. But how does this hunt today compare to what you've experienced in your hunting career?
Recently, it's like opening day, a good opening day, anywhere where there's birds. The habitat was great. The bird numbers were excellent. This whole the whole problem or the whole conundrum is we've got to do more than talk about birds and hunting and dogs and give people an incentive. Like, what does it mean to me? What is it going to mean to my grandchildren? Clean water, clean air, clean this. I mean, these are really important PowerPoint subjects right now. And try to get that into the hands of John Doe that's in Minneapolis, St. Paul, or Chicago, Illinois, or wherever, so that it becomes important to them, and then it'll become important to the politicians. So many. I've got sisters in Illinois, and they're kind of, you're just a redneck from Texas that likes to shoot things, okay? And there was, I think one of the last Pheasants Forever banquets was in Chicago before the COVID thing.
Yeah.
And I got the opportunity to take my sister and her husband through that, and it was like, oh, wow, this is,
What'd they think of that experience?
Little eye-opening?
It was eye-opening, but they wouldn't admit it, because they're so, set in their ways. But it was eye-opening. They have one of my puppies, and we had the dog there at the booth, and but they saw the butterflies and the pollinators and things like that. And my wife, who's anti everything, doesn't want to kill anything that breathes, likes butterflies. So there you go.
So she doesn't like you shooting pheasants and bringing them home?
Not really.
Does she enjoy eating them?
If I cook them.
Do you tell her that it's a pheasant, or you tell her it's chicken?
No, I tell her it's a pheasant. Now, when we first got married, if it was not in a grocery store wrapper, she wouldn't let it in the kitchen. Okay? But she was raised in the big city of Oak Park, Illinois, which is sidewalk city.
So you've seen a slow, some people progress really fast. They get one taste
We've
of
been
it and they're
married
like,
40
whoa.
years and it's not there yet.
Well, you can use the line that the gentleman from the deer camp gave. I just asked my wife. She knows everything. I don't need Google. So tell me then, I'm just really curious. How does I would say today was a normal Iowa pheasant hunt, right, Josh? I would say what we saw today wasn't the exception. I think it's well manicured property, held birds. We didn't see thousands of them, but we had ample opportunity. We all had shots. We all got birds. I think it was a good representation, is what I'm getting at, of what Iowa has right now. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, I think that's fair. If you, and it takes a little bit of scouting, of course, like drive around, identify the parts of the state that have more public habitat complexes, a little bit of scouting. If you know what you're looking for, you can identify good habitat, and then if you add 3 inches of fresh snow
right
on top, I think you're golden.
They were getting out within range. They weren't getting out 100 yards ahead of us, and they weren't running, and it's a beautiful thing. And we'll take it for a day because those bastards are going to be running again in 24 hours, and then the game is right back where the advantage to them. So that's why you get out there today. But Jim, I'm curious, in other places that you've hunted, do you feel like we are in what you experience today is something that you would be at the level of some of your greatest pheasant hunts, and maybe you've had some great hunts in South Dakota. I'm not sure.
I've had some great hunts in Kansas when the bird populations were there. This is as good as or better than those. Okay. We had a 160-acre CRP around Anthony, Kansas that we used, and it was like a little honey hole for pheasants, and it supported the population around the whole area. And unfortunately, that got turned into grazing land, and all of a sudden that whole area is, there's still birds there, but they're not nearly what there was.
Well, and it's interesting. We've talked about that too at dinner, and how if you have a central location that's just kind of well built and it holds wildlife, and that changes, all those little fingers off of the edge they're not nearly as good as they were when you had the main piece. So the one piece of property can make everything around it that much better. As far as public access, Josh, in Iowa, are we seeing an increase in public access in this state? IHAP acres?
Yeah, I mean, I think a good case could be made that as we currently stand today, there's more acres of public access in Iowa than we ever have had before. That's a result of, Jared talked about just the continual interest in PF chapters and other organizations looking for acquisition opportunities. So we're adding on to some of these existing complexes or building new ones where there's opportunities. But in addition to that, our access program, the IHAP, Iowa Habitat and Access Program, is sitting at, I think 32,000 acres, which is the highest that program has ever been at. And those are, everybody's used to the iconic kind of green public hunting signs. But if you see any of those gold signs, and it's a beautiful sign, that you've just stumbled into an IHAP. And the habitat on those properties is bar none. Those are managed at a high level.
They're manicured too. I mean, you guys are burning them. The blue stem on them. Now, Jared, and when you and I hunted them a few years ago, it was impressive just how the quality. And obviously, they're built for the birds, but it gives the advantage to the birds is the way it should be. They're going to win more times than not. But if they don't, then there was not going to be many left anyway. So it's all good. Let's wrap it up here because that giant meal that you made is really kicking in, and we've been up since like 6 o'clock.
I think the dog just grabbed the garbage off the kitchen counter.
Well, obviously, I'm grateful to be a part of something like this, Jim. I'm grateful that you would put a bid down to support this and to drive up here in that cool van / camper / hunting rig that you guys have. We'll try to do justice to it the next couple days. Obviously, I know how today went. It went well. Spoiler alert for the TV show. We don't know how the next 2 days are going to go. We don't know if a dog is going to get attacked by a grizzly bear. Not likely, Jared, but you never know.
Not likely here.
Nope. But we don't know how the next couple days are going to go. I am looking forward to them. Any thoughts as we tuck ourselves in for the night here and get ready for another hunt tomorrow?
Just, I don't know. Personally, for me, I come back to Iowa every year, and it just, it's pretty astonishing to me that you go to some of these places and, just driving around today, there's birds walking around everywhere on a white background. And am I thrilled that winter has come this early to Iowa already? Not necessarily. It's great. It's great for the hunting aspect of it, but I always like to give the birds a little break from winter before it really gets into it. Especially, I'd like to see later in December, but we might have some warmer weather to melt some of that. But
in 2 weeks, it could be brown again.
But one of the things today is, we went to a local grill for lunch today, and it's nice seeing hunters pulling in to those areas to hunt. We had a couple different guys with dog boxes pulled in while we were there, and I think that spark has been lit again, especially in certain areas of the state where pheasants have made a return.
Now, some people are going to say, "Yeah, great. Now there's more people where I want to go." I get that, but it's a good thing.
As
a whole, it's a good thing.
It fuels the system of conservation, and that's what we need.
Josh, you said that Iowa was not a destination for a while. Do you feel like it's finally a destination again?
I hope so. Last year we had our best number of roosters harvested in over a decade. This year is going to be the same story. I certainly hope Iowa's back on the map. Albeit that comes with, some more pressure, but that's good because that means good things for the state with, increased license sales, and the DNR does great things with those dollars. So
is that where the IHAP money comes from? Licensed dollars to put back into that program?
Some of that comes through the habitat stamp that's part of your license purchase also. And then a part of that is through the VPA. I shouldn't use acronyms.
Voluntary public access.
So USDA has a really cool program that supports states that you build out voluntary public access programs, and the Iowa DNR that is the name of their the Iowa Habitat and Access Program, and it's a great program.
Well, we'll call her good right there. I'm proud of you, Jim, as he's dozing off, dreaming about the unicorn that he harvested that everybody else had a chance at. Tomorrow,
Does he know what the forecast is for Thursday?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think it's 30 mile an hour winds and about 25 degrees.
Well, gotta go, guys. Gotta wrap this up. We're gonna call it good right now, and I think tomorrow we'll wrap this shoot up, and we got enough content. We got enough. We'll be heading right back to Minnesota. We'll catch you then next week on another episode of the Flush Podcast.